So to finish up the story where we flooded the farm, building our dam, who am I thinking of? Huckleberry Finn dreams of rafts and all that. We turned the yard into a quagmire where the cars were sinking. I have no idea, I don't recall how they pumped the basement out with no hydro. Earl Van Norman was called to, I don't know if he relocated the hydro box. I have very little memory of it, really. How long we ate cold dinners because there was no hydro. But that's not the half of it. It wiped out the septic field. Yeah, didn't really recall anything about that either, but yeah, it wiped out the septic field. And because Dad had rented this place for $50 a month, and everything was on him, did they replace the septic field, or because we were in the town limits, the sewer ran past on the highway, 25 Highway North, but the slope was such from the house to the road, they could go to the sewer, but they had to build it up and put material on top of it to insulate it. So they decided to go with the to hook to the sewer. Now, myself and my crew thought this was really cool. There was Eddie Calver with his backhoe and his bulldozer. A gate was installed in the field fence to come in off the highway to bring in loads of sand to cover this affair. We thought it was really cool. We're watching the, dump trucks and bulldozer and backhoe and woo, everybody go home. We'd be on the machines, brr, 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 playing around with the controls. We thought it was cool. It's a good thing my parents didn't believe in corporal punishment. I'd be probably telling the story still standing. But a lot of it, it's over half a century ago. I've told you pretty well everything I can remember. I don't remember how long the hydro was out, how they pumped the basement, whatever. It was a $5,000 touch to put that out to deal with the flooded septic field. Well, hey, we thought it was cool. I do remember my mother sitting with her sister, my aunt Lorna, and my grandmother, lamenting she threw out all of her preserves. In those days, they used to pour the wax on after everything else before they capped it and all the boiling and all that other stuff. Remember my mother saying, I'm sure they're good, but they were floating around in that water in the dirt basement. I can't do it. I got to throw them out. Again, it's a good thing my parents didn't believe in corporal punishment. Or at least I think so. So anyways, everything's laid out. And me and my crew, we decide we're going to build like a 401 series highway on top of the sand. It was on the short side of the house out to the road, so in hindsight, I think it was like 70 yards long. Ginormous bed of sand, right? We rounded up all our Tonka toys. We're engineering. We got overpasses. We got underpasses. We got gas stations. We got guardrails. Took Bob a while to figure out, pour any amount of water into that sand you want, you don't get a pond. I guess Mom wondered what happened to all of her garbage bags. We were enthusiastically beavering about this task. We were about 2/3 of the way out. We're happily there. Everybody's got their own tasks. I'm laying out, staking out the roadway, and Doug's coming along and following up with preliminary construction, and Bob's building ponds, and Scott's doing details with, shrubberies and clover leaves and guardrails and whatever the heck. There's an enraged beller. There's the old man. Punt. Out into the field goes a Tonka truck. And another one. Punt out into the field. You can imagine the cursing. You simpletons, do you think I built you a $5,000 fucking sandbox? Was the gist of it. We're all sitting there, like, oh. I know enough to stand up, right? Oh. The old man's raging. You've got every tool on the farm here. We did. We had every shovel, hoe, rake, pick, axe, hatchet. We had it all, man. Wheelbarrows. Hey, we'd been at work on this for a week. Punt, more Tonka toys out into the field. Scott was holding something. I forget what. Plastic gas station from some leftover playset or something. He was going to play somewhere. The old man kicked it right out of his hands. He was still like, Anyways, after the old man's rage sort of dissipated somewhat, every tool on the place back where it belongs right now. And in amongst his tirade, he'd trash Bob's bonds and kick this and stomp that and just goes up the side of the house. Every tool back right now before supper. We're standing there. Well, as the old man departed, we all kind of stood up. I'd already been standing. We were like, oh. Bob steps up beside me. He goes, your old man just doesn't get it. We were all in a concurrent. It was like, yeah, we'd have been done by the weekend. We'd have been right out to the road. Ooh. Yeah, $5,000 in, I don't know, that would have been early 70s money. So, yeah, as I say, it's a good thing they didn't believe in corporal punishment. I'd be standing telling that story, wouldn't I?